The question I have for you today is, can you believe? Can you believe? If I tell you the truth about faith and believing and trusting God, I would have to tell you that believing is not easy. Believing was never meant to be difficult. It was never meant for believing to be a hard thing. But we are in 2023, and I'm telling you that these days, believing is not easy. Trusting God is easier said than done. Saying you love God is a whole lot easier than actually loving God. Saying you have faith is a whole lot easier than actually having faith. Saying or claiming to be a believer is a whole lot easier than actually being a believer. And these things are easier said than done because you got so much trouble that you go through and so much trouble that you have been through until it plays a part in how you think, how you feel, and it plays a part in the things that you do. Because it's been so much trouble, or it still is for some people, so much trouble. And then you got so much pain that you're going through now, so much pain that you've been through in the past, so many situations and circumstances that you're dealing with and have dealt with that cause you so much pain until it makes believing seem a little bit harder than it actually is. It makes believing become easier said than done. You got so much doubt, so many doubts, so many things that you wanted that you never got, so many things that you thought you were believing for that never came to pass. So many things that you wanted to do, you never got to do. So many places you wanted to go, you never got to go. And it caused a lot of doubt in your mind. It caused a lot of doubt in your life. So now believing is a lot easier said than done because you're dealing with a lot of doubt. If you just be honest, you're dealing with a lot of doubt. And there is no believer today that has never dealt with the same trouble, the same pains, the same doubt. Anybody who ever became a believer dealt with the same thing. And it makes it a lot easier said than done from dealing with this stuff. You deal with so many lies. If you think about now, it's so many lies being told. If you think about the past, man, especially the way I grew up, I done heard enough lies not to ever have to hear another lie for the rest of my life. Lies on top of lies. Lies from people who knew they were lying. Lies from people who didn't even know they were lying. They thought they knew what they were talking about and they were dead wrong. Lies from preachers. Lies from parents. Lies from friends. Lies from counselors. Just lies on top of lies. Like it's more lies out here than it is truth. That's actually right. There are more lies out here than there are truths. because the truth is only the truth all by itself. But when you talk about truth, you're only talking about one truth, one main truth, the truth. But when you talk about lies, there are millions and billions of lies being told. And for every lie, there is a different versions, or there are different variations of that same lie. So there's a lot more lies to get through, and it makes believing a lot easier said than done. Then you got so many theories that you have to deal with. Everybody got a theory. I don't know what happened to testing out a theory to see whether it was true or not true. I don't know what happened to testing out theories to see whether they could be proven right or proven to be wrong. Now everybody just runs off with the next theory. Did you test that? No, I just believe it because it sounds good. So many theories. And you got so many people with so many different ideas. So you're dealing with all of this. You're dealing with the theories. You're dealing with a million ideas. Different pastors saying different things. You got hundreds of pastors. I think this city I live in got 300 plus churches. And every one of these pastors out here are saying different things. They all got different ideas about life. Nobody's testing. Nobody's proving. And because you have to deal with all these different ideas and theologies that you hear, it makes believing be a lot easier said than done. It makes trusting God be a lot easier to say than to do. You got to deal with so many different misconceptions. The way this person thinks it goes, the way that person thinks it goes, when all you got to do is test this stuff. All you got to do is just check this stuff out, and you will find out real quick whether something is right or not. You will find out real quick whether that person is telling the truth or not. But without doing the test on these things, without trying these spirits, you end up with a lot of different misunderstandings. Now, this person thinks they understand something. That person thinks they understand it. That person over there says, no, they're wrong. I understand it. And nobody's testing this stuff. So now you're trying to believe, you're trying to trust God, but you got to deal with all of these misunderstandings. You got to deal with all of these misinterpretations. And after all of the misunderstandings, all of the misinterpretations, all of the misconceptions, all of the lies, all of the ideas, all of these theories, after all of this stuff, nobody comes into the truth, and it causes you to slowly, over the years, you're being slowly pulled into deception. And a lot of people are so deep into deception now until they will probably never get back into truth. And it's kind of funny because the truth is just so plain. It's so easy to just do the truth. The truth will prove itself to you if you would just do it. If you would just apply truth. But just like the scripture says, few there be that find it. Only few find it. Most people are living a dead end life. And it's only because they do not seek out and find the truth. They do not seek out and find God, the one true God. The scripture says, if any man rejoice, let him rejoice in that he knows God and understands God. A lot of people are living a dead-end life. They'll never accomplish anything in this life nor in the life to come because they never knew God. They never understood God. Just one thing you need to know, and that's God. Just one thing you need to understand, and that's God. A lot of people keep saying they're mad at God. They got a problem with God. God didn't do this. God didn't do that. They're mad because God did a particular thing. They don't feel like God should have done this particular thing. But when you understand God, let me tell you something. God has not done anything to you. God has not done anything to you. You cannot name me one thing that God did to you. Good or bad. You cannot name one thing that God did to you. Everything that has happened that you consider to be good, or everything that has happened that you consider to be bad, it all happened for a reason. If you didn't do something to cause it, another person did something to cause it. If they didn't do nothing to cause it, you said something to cause it. They said something to cause it. Those people over there did something to cause it. But you can't sit up and say God did it. You think you sat somewhere and God just came and decided that he was going to give you a house? You a lie. You think you just set up somewhere and waited on God, and then God decided that he was going to bless you with a few cars? You are a liar. See, I hate this kind of stuff, because this is what gave the church or church people so many misinterpretations or so many misconceived ideas about God that's not even true. You think you just set up at your house and you needed a job, and one day God calls the job to call you and say, hey, come up here and work for us? No, you are a liar. You got that job because you took your butt down there and applied. You got that job because you spoke that job into existence and you heard from God where to go. But you went. You got that house because you went to go get that house. You didn't get that house because you didn't go to get that house. You got that money because you got up and went to work. You got that money because you spoke that money into existence. You got that money because you believed that God was going to cause somebody to give you that money. Your belief did it. For some reason, we don't hear this from people who are supposed to be faith walkers. We hear that one day God gonna do it for you. You a lie. God ain't gonna do it for you because you don't think right, you don't speak right, you don't act right. So we need to stop telling people that God is gonna do things that God is never going to do. This is why it's so hard for people to believe. Because so many people been lying all these years. And then when you get somebody who will come through and tell you the truth, somebody who will break this stuff down and tell you how it actually works, it's hard to grasp it. Because you've heard so many lies. You've heard so many theories. You heard so many false prophecies from false prophets. You've heard so many false ideas of God. You got so many misunderstandings in your life until now you can't even receive the simple truth about God. I remember when Pastor Cochran told me one day, I was going through real bad. I was going through a lot of financial problems and just other stuff in life. I mean, struggling big time. But I was going to church, man. I was going to 2 different churches in 2 different cities. So I was in church all the time. Sunday church, Bible study church, revivals, prayer meetings. And Pastor Cochran told me that it's not about going to church all the time if you're not going to apply the word. And I'm sitting there, can't even receive this truth that he's trying to give me because I got all of this stuff I'm talking about just weighing me down. Just weighing me down. And I'm trying to church my way into the blessings of God. And you never will. But when I finally understood what he was trying to tell me, when I finally listened to understand what he was trying to tell me, I got it. You get what you get in life by the way you are, the way you think, the way you speak. If anybody else tries to bring anything into your life, it don't even matter. How do you handle it? How do you react? The way that you talk, think, and do is what controls what's able to happen in your life and what's not able to happen in your life. The way that you talk, the way that you think, and the way that you act is what controls what's able to happen to you and what's not able to happen to you. That's why you'll have 2 people. One of them talks, thinks, and acts according to the word. Another one talks, thinks, and acts however they want to. The same thing will try to happen to both of them. They will both get sick. The one that talks, thinks, and acts according to the word, they are going to talk or speak that they're healed. They are going to act as if they're already healed. And they are going to think that they are already healed. And they will be healed. The one who talks, thinks, and acts according to man's system, they're going to end up trying to get healed from medicine. They're going to end up trying to get healed from going to the doctors. They're going to end up trying to be healed by getting into bed, getting a lot of rest. They're going to end up trying to be healed by the way they eat and the way they drink. And they're going to end up dead because they didn't think, they didn't speak, and they didn't act on the word. They didn't speak, they didn't think, and they didn't act on the truth. And they will end up dead. It's done happened to me before. That's the truth, but I already know not many people can believe that. So what do people do? They keep struggling. They keep going through things that they don't have to go through. They keep dealing with haters that they don't have to deal with. They keep crying about problems. They keep being stressed out about situations. And the way that they think, the way that they speak, and the way that they act continues to make their lives worse and worse. Because believing is easier said than done.